Why majority of black Africans in Africa support Donald Trump more than diaspora Africans in America. The average Nigerian-led black African diaspora in America, who is often overfed with sumptuous dishes of American freedom and democracy against the background of their historical continental origins, see themselves with the carriage of superior knowledge over their continental compatriots. They feel that because they take tea or coffee and bread as their breakfast, the same menu should be considered right for the black Africans whose hot climate condition and excessive manual engagement require heavy-duty carbohydrates. It does not occur to them that every society has its peculiar character on which are allied its peculiar ways of life and problems, including type of foods. This explains why the black Africans in continental Africa see the dynamics of American presidency fundamentally through the spectacle of American foreign policy and how it affects the collective or specific progress of black African nations. In this case, they do not care much about the internal political dynamics of the United States. Their major concern has been how America affects them either as individual nations or a group of nations. This explains why, in their judgment of American core political values, what matters to them is the comparative impact of the 8-year Barack Obama's administration against the 4-year Donald Trump administration. In other words, the question here is between Barack Obama and Donald Trump, whose presidency better impacted positively on Africa in general and black Africa in particular. Remarkably, one may add by asking to what extent have the black African diaspora used the advantage of their American experience to contribute positively towards the positive development of black Africa. Nigerians march in support of Donald Trump in USA presidential election. The Jewish Americans, in the midst of their overwhelming success within the realms of the American dreams, are mostly concerned about how American foreign policy impacts on the state of Israel in political, economic, and security terms. The same spirit of ancestral patriotism is notably among the Indian Americans, Chinese Americans, Arab Americans, and other Asian Americans diaspora. What have the black American diaspora in America got to show as their positive impact of American foreign policy in black Africa? It is worth stating that the fact that we continental black Africans had prayed fervently for long for an African American to emerge one day as the President of the United States of America as a testimony on the unsurmountable labor under pains, sufferings, and all kinds of deprivations their ancestors underwent in the process of reinventing the current American dream. We prayed for a true African American whose ancestors experienced what it meant to be a segregated and deprived African American under the tortuous experience of slavery. Those whose ancestors invented for us the true meaning and essence of Pan-Africanism and whose ideas and labors created the true spirit of African nationalism and eventually midwifed anti-colonial struggles. I mean those people with the unadulterated pedigree of John Brown, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Williams Edward, Bogot, Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King Jr., Elijah Muhammad, and Jesse Jackson. These were the people who understood what it meant to be an African America, founded on the ideals of true African identity with the nostalgic experience of an oppressed past. These were the people who looked toward Africa with unfaltering ancestral connecting spirit with the true meaning and essence of African identity. These were the people from whose descendants we expected to be granted the privilege of producing an American president. But against our prayers, we were given a Barack Hussein Obama, a first generation African American who lacks the ancestral connectivity to the true African American experience and spirit. One who has no nostalgic story to tell about his African American roots, and a man whose conception of black identity is as whitewashed as his conception of black identity is as whitewashed as his understanding of black African moral core values. It is worth stating the fact that the strategy of black African alienation from our core values came with Obama's era as the President of the United States of America. It is the worst that ever happened to black Africa in how many decades of eventful relations with the United States of America. Thank you for listening to this news. You see, my viewers, it is always like that. You understand? It's always like that. You know, the black Americans, they are in America quite all right. You understand? And you know, in America we have the black Americans and we have the white Americans, but they are all Americans. You understand? They are all Americans, but it's just like regions. Just like regions. So definitely in a place where we have people of different regions, of different colors, of different look, you know, definitely there must be some biasness. There must be some misunderstanding. You don't expect them to be equal. You don't expect them to be equal. You understand? In UK, in US, the blacks are always seen contending with the whites, and the whites are also seen contending with the blacks. You understand? So when the black man ascend the seat of power, he will definitely want to favor the blacks than the whites. So when the white ascend the seat of power, the whites will always want to favor the whites than the blacks. And that is why you saw what happened in America when Floyd died. You understand now? You can see that the war now became between the blacks and the Americans, the white Americans. You understand? So that that the Nigerians, the Africans in Nigeria develop more love for Donald Trump than the black American is something that has come to stay. It is a normal thing. It is always normal. You understand? It is always normal. Okay, so my viewers, without talking much, I would like you to come into this matter because it concerns you as well. Okay, so deem it fit to leave your own comments below the comment box. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to get updated whenever we upload any new videos. Thank you.